Alright, if we break down here, guys, I'm short for the same cash flow targets. I appreciate you for being here.
I'm sure right now target hit. This is what we call a magic hour.
Alright, I'm taking this.
The upside ahead, the momentum to the upside ahead, everything aligning, live pricing, historical data, right? Aligning.
Right there.
Welcome, this is PackTV. Sit back, relax, and watch how we day trade with statistics.
PackTV, God-given, so I gotta make it happen, I'm on mission. Not like them, I'm different, that bag come with a pension. Talk about that business, shit like on hard all in the pain. Shining hard, don't need no chain, all this drip, it feel like rain. Everything on me, got it on my name. They don't got it like this, they don't talk it like this. I was built for this. That TV not like guns, take it away.
Stop me, it's me. If you're doing this for the women, you're losing. Do this shit for yourself. I do this shit for myself.
They rigged the race long before your first breath. Signed your name in the ledger, made a bet on your death. Puppet masters and neckties, count your hours like cash. Presidents pushing their pieces while you fade in the ash. Game theory kings in a smoke-filled room, writing out the rules to your ruin. The world ain't chaos, it's their game. Their game. You never learn a script they spin, cause they don't want you to ever win. Flip the fucking board, let it rain, let it rain. Burn it down, burn it down. Burn it down, burn it down. Lead over production, too many mouths have been thrown. Shine a rise in the rear view, old empires turn to bone. Same damn cycle, same sharp teeth in a grin. They sell you fate on a pay-per-view, call it virtue, call it sin. Game theory kings in a smoke-filled room, writing out the rules to your ruin. The world ain't chaos, it's their game. Their game. You never learn a script they spin, cause they don't want you to ever win. Flip the fucking board, let it rain, let it rain. fire, raised on a rerun lie, told to choose a side.
Welcome, this is PackTV.
Bowie in London, Bowie in London, Bowie in London, 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 London. Bowie in London, Bowie in London. It's time for London Open. We got London with Bowie, and PackTV. You already know what time it is. Get your asses in here. Let's go. Let's get it. Bowie in London, Bowie in London. Bowie in London, Bowie in London. Bowie in London, Bowie in London. Bowie in London. Bowie in London, Bowie in London. London with Bowie. PackTV.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everyone's had an amazing weekend. Whoever's watching this. And if someone's watching this later on YouTube, then hope you had a nice weekend, day. I'm waiting on my coffee currently. So I'm going to quickly run downstairs and grab the coffee. And then we'll get into the charts here. But yeah, today's going to be a pretty interesting day potentially. As we have quite some volatility this morning. Pretty big candles for a London session. So yeah, it could be interesting. Definitely going to have to size down today on the contracts. But that's okay. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Let me get the coffee. All right, there we are. With fresh coffee. Oh, shoot, wait. I don't think I can turn my camera on right now with all this light. Let's see. All right. Is that doable? No, see, that's a lot of light coming in. Well, it's okay. That is okay. Let's get some of that going. All right. Let's see what the market brings today. Going to be an interesting morning. as we have some pretty volatile markets ahead of us. Oh, shoot. Yeah. All right, cool. So we have our New York 2. So yesterday was a short true. And this morning, Asia, we had Asia on a long true, breaking nicely towards the upside. As you can see, we've retested that initial Asia Open. And we've rejected early this morning. Now broken above the London OU. So all that is making me slightly not bearish, bullish coming into the morning. We also have a 18 low of day, which is, as we know, probably most people's favorite low of day, high of day time, including mine. I absolutely love seeing those high and low days when I wake up and look at the charts. Now, most people in the trade or pack trade group trade these, but hey, where I live in Europe, that's going to be pretty hard. But yeah, so I'm also on the 15-minute time frame here. So I don't know if Dale is watching, but if you are, Dale, then you can probably see I finally... Oh, my phone notifications are on. Hang on. I finally have access to the indicator. After a long wait. So basically, for the people watching that don't understand what this is basically the first 12 hours of the day in this box. And it's divided into quarters, right? So you have Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. And well, statistically, we're going to be making the lower high in Q1 and the opposite high or low on Q4, which if we look down here on these statistics down here, you can also see that same concept kind of confirming with the MFEs, MAEs. So basically what that means is London is your time window where statistically you're going to be attacking one of those highs or lows if it's not already put in, right? So we have that Insta 18 low, and now statistically London is going to be making the high most of the time. As you can see, there's spread out probabilities that it happens in between too, but most of the time it's going to be during the London hours. So that is also in combination with this Insta low of day, in combination with the retest of the Asian Open range and rejection, that we statistically could be seeing London put in that high. So that's some of the analysis for now, right? So we're just going to keep that in the back of our heads, that today could be a nice bullish London session, statistics-wise. Does that mean we go up in a straight line? Absolutely not, right? We could just be chopping for an hour, have a small dip before a push, and then maybe we chop again, right? It's a 3-hour time window, so anything can happen. But this is just something we can keep track of, keep note of. And that's just statistics, nothing else. No market structure, no nothing. Right? If we were looking at market structure, you'd probably say, well, we're bearish as shit. Which I agree, we're very bearish. We also, right, we heard that the war is not ending at the moment, that talks are kind of stalling. So that's all bearish for the market. So yeah, just don't be surprised if some news comes out and we get a huge, we call them boner candles, but you can call them whatever, sneeze candle, boner candle, big candle, news candle, a big candle just popping up out of nowhere and ruining your day. That was a good bullish front run. Any pack members who took this, or? Right, you also have the gunship, kind of confirming what we were talking about on the bullish side. With this bullish breakout, look at this price cloud, right? Also saying, hey, we might take that high. Well, the price cloud isn't saying it, but it is indicating bullish nature. And then if we look at the volume side of things, let's chart it on together so people can see how I chart this stuff. If they ever look back, start of the day, 18 open or London volume, but with the extreme volatility this morning, I am not going to be scalping, just going to be sticking to the bigger trades today. We then mark our major areas of lower volume, our big volume drop-offs, if you could say. One right here. And we have another one up here. Some of our major low volume nodes close to price currently. Just something we can keep track of. And then I want to see the current delta for price on the right side of my screen. Boom. So yeah, trade plan for today is pretty simple, right? Depending on what we do, which is more likely than not going to be that instant bullish statistical move. Statistics wise, right? Again, nothing is a 100%, but cash flow secured plus 320, nice. You longed, I'm guessing. Yeah, good stuff. So I want to see what's going to happen now on the on the long term, right? I want to see price push up towards the P12 mid, towards the current high of day. But right now, what I'm curious about is, can we break out of value here and see more upside between these two low volume nodes here? Because what we know is we do have a pretty balanced profile in this area, right? Take a look at all the high volume in this general area. And so if we break out of value into this low volume node, we could easily see a sharp rejection. So I want to be a bit curious here with a long. Oh, that's not good. And then what happens after, right? If we do take this high out, what do we do? Do we continue? Or do we see a rejection and we start trading back inside? Because you got to keep in mind, all we have to do is take that high out for this to be an instead P12 for the day. But then do we reject the high? Do we continue higher? We'll see what's more likely based on statistical probabilities yet again. But we'll go over that in 9 minutes, maybe. If we do break the London range highs. Yes, sir, 05 break, nice. Morning, Wes. Okay, so we're trading into that low volume node into the value area high. Actually, I want this to be a bit more precise, so I'm going to move this slightly up. And move this slightly more down. A bit more of a precise area. So we've tapped the low volume node, tapped above value. If I was scalping right now, seeing this rejection, I would go for a quick short. Even though, right, statistical analysis, we're very long, bullish. These big volume pockets, you can easily scalp now and then. But again, like I said, that's not in my plan today, as we have some pretty high volatility, pretty big candles compared to what we normally have during London. So it's going to be waiting for that bigger, easier setup. I'll just leave the drawing on the chart. So we're wanting this high to go. And then from there on out, we'll see, do we continue higher or do we continue back down? Man, that front run was big car passing by. I could close the window if it's too much noise in the background. But yeah, I'm already liking what we're seeing. So we have areas of aggressive buying, holding, and then you have aggressive sellers constantly being absorbed, right? Right here, right down here, right, oh shoot, right here. So it's constantly aggressive buyers winning this battle. Which is also a good sign for the analysis that we had of taking the high. So we're now breaking out of value below the low volume node. If we get a pullback here and hold, I will go long. Looking to target the previous absorption up here and having a runner to that high of day target that we were talking about. At the moment, we're just ripping. We had the bullish front run on the gunship and daily New York levels breakout. TP at the high frequency box. Nice. Yeah, again, right? 12-hour analysis, also very bullish. Knowing London behavior. We know London likes to take out a high or low. Daily high or low, usually. Which is confirmed statistically, right? It's not something I just noticed. it is confirmed statistically that we do so. Get the gunship breakout. I mean, we had lots of hourly retracement probabilities above us too. Can I still put those on? I don't have it on this chart, I think. Where is it? Oh, here. Right, so if we do a stop line when hit turned off, you'll see the stacked area of hourly probabilities up here, which we just tapped into. And then around the open, which we had already taken. That's beautiful. All right, we have a bit of a battle going on. We do have a lot of regression. I can barely see my candles currently. Yeah, we have a cluster of aggressive buying and selling. Yeah, so far all pretty textbook. Not in any trades yet, but again, I'll be happy with reading the markets without a trade too. Like, if my trade setup doesn't appear, it doesn't appear. It's that simple. But it would be nice to just show people live, right? That it's not too hard to read a market here. 93% of the 12-hour MAE in, yeah. Ooh, our value area high just shifted up. Interesting. Oh, we're so far just ripping without a setup for me. Let me move this a little closer. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking, right? It's a prediction. It's not a read yet because we don't have the confirmation, but we can check it out here. I was happy with my TP. Got to be careful with the 50% consistency rule. Yeah. Don't overshoot the TPs when you have that rule. So I just duplicated my daily profiler tab. Right, and as we can see, if we do a bit of analysis, so if we take this high, we're going to be long out of London. So we can click that on. But then we want to know, right? Do we continue more likely after taking out the daily high, or could we see this option B, that reversal? And then we can just check real quick, right? We can go down to London, see, all right, we have a 66% chance of being true, which would mean we take the London highs and we don't fall back to this London 230, 330 opening range low. So that would be in favor of a continuation. Give me my setup, you fucker. And for a false, which we know is the lower probability, but right, a 30+% probability chance is still a pretty big chunk of probabilities. Wouldn't call that a low probability play. We can see, okay, London session high and low times, most likely that high has to be formed between 330 and 4, with the median drop off at 415. So we know, right, that if we still make higher pricing after that median time cluster, then more likely than not, we're not going to be locking in that high anymore, and the odds of continuations are significantly higher. That's why it's going to be key to watch what happens once we take that high. We look at timing, and then depending on what we're seeing, there could be a nice reversal trade back down. So let's see. Let me, I can minimize that actually. Look at how many big trades there are though. Like, this is super aggressive for London. You can also see we've kind of dropped or tapped into this lower area of volume 2. Right up here. This is actually all low volume, if you don't want to really look at it. Okay, so now I want to see what happens once we tap and if we tap down in here. This is London we love. Yeah, dude, this is a super clean London session so far. Let's take a look at the quarters for the hour. So let me take this off of this one. I think I'm gonna close my window if these noises keep on happening. So many cars passing by. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it on this one. Take the gunship off the chart. Now this is M and Q, keep that in mind. Usually chart and Q, but we can see, right, Q1 low of the hour, Q2 breaking and holding above Q1. So that's all looking nice for a ripping hour. Potentially taking the highs. Is my I haven't checked, wait. Is my webcam even? I think it's better like this. Yeah. We don't have cheat take here for a while. Just now check the pack chat. And then the first day is like a super clean London session so far. Wow. We all know cheat take would have been green with this movement. Is Kawan here? He might not be. All right, we're dropping. We do have some pretty fat absorption on top here. Buyers being trapped hard on both on the delta and big trades. And there's lower volume pockets here too. Above these highs. But again, statistical analysis is still supporting that bullish continuation nature here. So I will be looking what happens if we tap back into this low volume node here. See if buyers aggressively defend. And if we do, I'll take a long back up. Why is there so many freaking... All right, let's see what happens here. You have sellers hitting. Whoa. Calm down. Buyers winning that candle. Okay. Let's long this. Set the stop loss. Oh! I did not even set my TP yet. Wait. I think, okay, no, it's fine. All right. Close that off manually. Dude, that all happened way too fast. So I got in right here in the middle of that wick. So yeah, this is pretty accurate. Stop was at this low. And I took a few contracts off at 1-to-1. And now I'm holding a runner to the next low volume node. But yeah, quick cash flow made already on the 1-to-1. Let's see if this runner goes further up. Stop loss is going to now be down right below the aggressive buying. Okay. All right, cool. So even if we get stopped out now, trader's going to be green. We're going to have some cash flow banked. That happened way too fast, dude. Man, this coffee is hitting me. Is this trade? Okay. Dude, I thought I thought I took it on one of my wrong accounts. That was not in cycle, but we're good. Thought I took it on the wrong account. So to visualize this trade, you'll see my risk management here too. Pack members will know, but I always like to take cash flow nice and early. So TP1 was here. Oh, I did not get the labeled line, did I? Labeled line, there we go. So cash flow was right here. Cash flow. Apply. Oh, maybe I should put this on the top right. There we go. Is that where the cash flow is? Let's take a look. Yeah, pretty much. So now targeting into that next low volume node here. Coming back down here. Let's pull this delta in a little. Right, so why did I take this trade? As we know, right, that was our major low volume pocket. Right below it, we have a higher volume area. So usually, right, if you're in a trend, if there's aggression, most of the time you see aggression step in right in those low volume pockets. So once we tapped it, we had a massive acceleration. Sellers got trapped down here. When we look at the delta, big aggressive buyers stepped in and held and pushed price back up. And then I entered once we got above the less aggressive sellers, right above the low volume node there. So what can we see as well? We can see that this little area here is an area of sell absorption too, where constantly sellers are trying to get it down, but get bought up, trying to get it down, get bought up, trying to get it down. They keep getting bought back up. So we're looking good in this position here. Now, buyers were massively absorbed up here. So we do have to keep that in mind. You can see it on both the delta and the big trades. But again, we're risk-free. This trade is green no matter what. If we now get stopped on the smaller stop, smaller contract size, then we're still going to be green for this trade. And that's why I think doing cash flow is so nice, doing quick in and outs. Again, I keep saying this in the pack, but in prop trading, I like to be in and out fast. The odds are against you in prop trading. The rules are harder. There is no reason to try and squeeze every little penny out of your trades on prop trading, especially with all the consistency rules. I have found more success by, well, I don't want to say low RR trades, but also kind of, yes, lower RR trades. But I don't really look at RR. Sometimes I do, but only at a 1. I like to at least get out of the market as much as I risk, usually. And if I can't get that, then I usually sit out. I know there's many people trading negative RR stuff, which if your expectancy is positive, it doesn't really matter what RR you use. But for me, with these volume scalps and everything, I do have to be a bit more strict on what I risk and take. All right, let's see. So we still have 2 contracts running. One will be off right here. And then I'll be holding my last one to the high of day. Oh, we had Karl on here. Dude, I missed Karl. I think he's asleep now. Dude, Karl, if you're still here, how you doing, dude? All right, there's one more contract off. So now the final contract is running up to the high of day. Going to put it slightly in front. Let's see. Let's put it slightly in front of that high of day. Beautiful. All right, well, now with that last, well, second last contract scaled out, I don't really care all too much whether I hit fill TP or get stopped. Let me make this white too. There we go. Let's get the high of day. Heck yeah. Right, we set this in the statistical analysis at the beginning of the session. That's our target for London, statistically. Then what happens after? We'll see. We'll let live price tell us. We know a true is more likely than a false, but that false, you can, during London, you can never just wipe the false away. You can never put it on the sidelines. It's always going to be there when you least expect it. Even if the probabilities say, oh, I think my daily profiler crashed. What is this? Okay, my daily profiler just crashed out of nowhere. Yeah, we are long in London. Yep. Well, this is probably a one and done day. Just like last week, dude. Normally I take multiple small trades, but when we have clear targets, when we have statistics all lining up, and I hold a runner, I get to be done in one big trade, which is nice. Now I won't put my stop to break even. And I actually had a question on Twitter about this. On the trade example, someone mentioned, right, why do I never see a break-even trade? I don't really like going break-even because my entries are based off of aggression areas, major catalysts usually, where you see either heavy aggression or absorption. So if we see objectively, right, that there's aggression stepping in there, then why would I put my stop to break even? To protect your risk. Yeah, but I'm not afraid of losing money, right? Again, you wouldn't be in the trade if you were. So if this is an area where we know there's aggressive market participants, and in my case bullish, why would I care? If they fail, I fail. So be it. Dude, we were super close to that TP. Super close to that high of day. Again, my TP is slightly in front of the high of day itself because the top wick is all the way up there. But I don't like shooting for the extremes usually. I've been tick rejected too many times by some of my brokers looking at top step. So not gonna risk that, right? It's a runner already up. Let's see. Let's see if buyers aggressively defend this low volume node now too. Let's kind of scale this in. And again, we can see buyers stepping in, right? On that low volume node. Not aggressively, no big trades, no major delta flip, but you can see, right? This delta here is mostly bullish at the moment. You can see price is reacting. But we have a lot of aggressive sellers hitting the bid. So we have about 5.5 minutes until we open up the new hour. So 4 a.m. is a interesting one for London. There's usually a little bit of a volatility increase. And it can also be the last pivot for that false move that we talked about, right? For option number 2 to happen here, where we take the high and drop. Night. Have a good night, Karl. I'll be sure to check out your Magic Hour stream. Have a nice little sleep, dude. And then as Karl leaves, we get the TP watch. Karl, don't leave. It's coming. Don't leave. Do we get the full final TP? Or did I jinx it? Dude, this would be one heck of a trade to start the week. Okay, never mind. I jinxed it, Karl. You can go to bed. Still here. Yeah, I still have to make that Twitter post about low volume nodes. I think this today here will show you why. I'll probably have to go and make that very soon. Break above, holds, break above, holds. Very clean so far. I'm also going to have to take some trades on the Lucid account that is connected to this platform, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to trade from Motorwave still, because I only trade on Tradeovate or TopStep X, so I'm not used to this trading platform yet. I think I jinxed it. Now Karl has to wait longer. You can go to bed, Karl. Maybe 4 a.m. open gives it that volatility spike that we need, but Trade C with Lucid is a lot like TopStep X. Really? I hear a lot about Trade C. You're gonna have to do a deep dive into that probably. But yeah, I also just want to take trades live on this platform as I'm charting as well. The only problem with that is I don't know how that works with copying and everything. So at the moment, I'm just stick to Tradeovate and TopStep. Dude. You use them with Lucid, no complaints. Cool. Yeah, I'll check them out. I saw them pop by on Twitter as well. They looked very interesting. All right, 4 a.m. open. Do we do something? We snap back down at the moment. Guess we're going to have to wait longer. It would be a crime if we don't take the high, though. Like, us rejecting the high, like, right here would be a crime. I'm gonna just say it. Can it happen totally? But I would feel violated, probably. But yeah, that was also big absorption up there at the top here. Now we come crashing down. So if it wasn't for this runner, I would have probably had a short here on that big absorption, on that snapback in value below the low volume node. But again, I'm already in a runner, so there's no need to. Have a good night, Karl. Good to see. I took my piece at 3 AM and walked away. Nice. Yeah, I'm also pretty much like completely out of this trade. I only have one contract going up to the high of day. If that gets stopped out here, I'll still be very green. The trade would have looked like this. Like I was just holding one runner. So whatever happens, like I said, money made on this trade. Just open up YouTube to listen to some stuff. Saw you on. Yeah, dude, market's been amazing this morning, I will say. Market's been amazing. We had the initial push on the London Open, like right away. Like right here. Market opened, London opened. The moment we had that break above the initial London Open range, it just fired. It absolutely fired. And if it wasn't for my strict setups, right, this would have been a great scalp here once we rejected this, which would have already been a beautiful long. But yeah, it's just one contract. Like I said, if I was holding an entire trade, I would have been out after this absorption for sure. But like I said, it's one contract. Most of my position is out already. It's a nice extra if that had hit, yes, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. I'm gonna be green more than what I risked in green, almost twice as much, so I cannot complain. Beautiful green morning, even if this gets stopped out now. But like I said, this trade is definitely not over. This is our catalyst down here. This is our area of buy aggression. And my stop is right below. We still have the statistical probability of taking that high in our favor. We have retraced the P12 mid, so that has happened. And look at the reaction off of the area, right? It's what I've been saying. This is why I don't go break even on my way of entering the markets, because I usually enter on an area of aggression or a catalyst. And if you know objectively you're entering in an area of aggression, why not let it fight for you again? Yes, you could be wrong and you'd lose out on a bit, but again, I'm letting the math take care of me already. So do I really have to put my stop at break even? No. I haven't backtested break evens that way. I think many traders that I see, especially with stuff like order flow or ICT, they don't want to give their profits away. So you'll see them aggressively go break even or aggressively trail their stop. And then once they get taken out, right, they get a small pullback, they get taken out. And then what do they say? Oh, should have traded a little less aggressive. No, you're just freaking greedy. I see it so much, dude. Like during the weekend, I had like a order flow trader pop up. And he was in a nice winning position. The market was aggressive. He entered at a catalyst. And he's trailing his stop, even though there's full-on candles like this just ripping. He's trailing his stop like a few ticks below price moving the whole time. Then price takes him out because there's one teeny tiny wick forming. Price shoots higher and he misses out on like, I don't know how much, but a lot. And he said, oh, should have not trailed so aggressively. No shit, Sherlock. I find trailing a stop one of the most stupid things you can do. There's a difference in just a rip and just dragging it along price and having a structured way of doing it, right? If you have a structured way of doing it, aka every 20 points, every 10 points, you wait for a swing high, swing low, and you do it below the swing, and you have it all back tested, sure. But I see too many people doing it out of complete emotion, just dragging it along price because they are too afraid to be stopped out. Like, I'm only risking one contract. Why would I trail? This trade is already over, pretty much. It's either I get a cherry on top or I get stopped out and I still made over 2 times what I risked. It's a win-win, no matter what. And I normally don't even do trailing on every trade. I'm usually in and out fast, like I said earlier this stream. So this is already a nice bonus for me anyway. There's lots of aggression at the moment. Lots of big trades. Aggressive sellers too. And like we know, and what I said in the beginning of the morning too, right? We're not expecting a rip and boom, target met. We're expecting price to push, then chop, then to pull back, then to potentially chop again, then to push. We're not expecting a straight line up to that high of day. So if I know that, right? If we know that the market chops more than it trends as well, why on earth would you trail aggressively? There's statistics against you telling you, hey, we chop more than we trend. We do this more than we do this. And like I said, it's most of the times not in favor of aggressive stop trailing. And my gosh, we are having some crazy big candles going back and forth here. Look at that. Lots of aggression. Oh, we're building some volume over here. Look at that bulge form. And again, are we surprised that we've rejected here already? No, look at the amount of absorption happening on top here too. Right, if we draw a volume profile on here. Not volume profile. A delta profile. Can I turn it into 2 pips? It's not super buy heavy, but we can see buyer stock on the top. You have some sellers stepping in, huge amount of buy delta, and then right after a huge amount of sell delta. That's my favorite combination. Pack members know it because I repeat it almost every day. But if you have a super aggressive delta, let's say, right, this is your delta, super aggressive here, they got stuck, and then right below, you get super aggressive sell delta in a bearish price scenario. And that huge sell delta aggressively is like by confirmation, kind of. You see buyer stuck, they're getting absorbed, and then you have the aggression right below confirming that, hey, sellers are loading in. Doesn't always happen like that, but when it does, I am usually very happy. Did not happen on this trade or this trade. The way I wanted to normally. You can see buyer stuck and some aggressive sell delta right below, but it's not a clean example of what I'm talking about. Man. This is what we were talking about, right? We're not going to go up in a straight line. There's going to be a form of chop, more likely than not. And here we have it. So far, dude, clean read on the market. And a nice trade to profit from it as well. All combining statistics and volume. Statistics to know what our environment is, to see what the more high probable play is. And then I use volume and order flow to get into great entries. I don't like entering on time-based entries so much. I know a lot of people do. But I want to be in when there's actual signs of aggression in that favor, in my favor. And that's just personal preference. Also, if I was looking for a short, man, it would have been here. You have big absorption, sellers pushing it down. We break below the value high of the day. We do a retest, and we reject back down. Like, that is a setup I take a lot. I think I took this last week, even, one of those setups. A value area high retest. Look above and fail, and then into a retest during... That was my New York trade. This was the trade that I took. That's funny, because London was very bullish last Friday, and I took one short. This was like a pixel perfect TP, which ended up being the bottom. And then I took another short up here once we had major buy absorption. Like I said, right, the in and out quick that I've been talking about. Well, let's just say that was pretty much the top of this whole range before we had the major crash down. But I'm pretty sure that was also a value area high trade. And then I believe one of those setups was right here. Yeah, I see him. This trade, breaking down, tapping value area high, rejecting, aggressively slamming back down. You had aggressive buyers stuck, aggressive sellers, and when they got what they wanted down here, I took a short. And I believe I took ATP here, and at the Asian OU, which was around here somewhere. I believe this was kind of how that trade was. I have it posted on my X, this exact trade, so somebody doesn't believe me, go look up my X and it will be on there, guaranteed. I can actually probably pull it up myself. Let's see. Yep, found it. Okay, so I took the more aggressive entry is what I did. That's what happened. There you go. Right? Is that the same trade though? Yeah, right. I think the volume bubbles look different, but that might be updated. I have that off, so that's good. Let's take a quick look. Go back in time. Yeah. Okay, so it's showing some buy orders at the top there, which are not there now, but apart from that, it's all pretty much the same setup. Again, sometimes they correct data. Gonna be a 05 plus quarter break, will be fun. Or is that what you're looking for, Kawa? Let's take a look. So we have 05, we have Q1 holding at the moment, both at the bottom and top. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we do a failed auction here. If we do, so we're currently creating London-based value. I wouldn't be surprised if we create a failed auction to go higher. So that's something to watch out for. Again, statistical analysis is still saying we make that high of day here in this 3 to 6 session. We also now know that we're in that time window where we're more likely to be true for London than false. So, yeah. Now, one thing I will say is at the moment we are holding an in-step false high. But like I said, we haven't taken that high yet, which we statistically do. Maybe it's just going to be a day where we don't. Can also be, right? You don't have to have instead days every day. But that is the one thing keeping me from looking for a short at the moment and still holding on to this buy. So yeah. Well, we're still waiting. We said it in the beginning of the morning. There's going to be more likely than not a big chop, and here we have it. Served on a golden plate. Big absorption down there. Aggressive sellers absorbed. And we're literally ranging in between low volume nodes. Right in the value area. Also, for those watching, make sure to check out the Magic Hour stream after this one. With Karl. He was just in here like, what, half an hour ago? So one thing I'm keeping note of right now is we can see we've been kind of forming this sell absorption down here slowly and surely by coming back down here every time. And then right above it is that aggressive buy delta. Right, and I talked about this exactly like, what, 20, 15 minutes ago? Now, it's not really super clean. It's not how I normally like it, right? Normally, I want to see us break into a level, get that immediate reaction absorption, and then that aggression right after. This has been kind of slowly building by this drop. So it's not textbook. You have to wait a long time for your quarter and 05 break. We've been ranging in this 05 box for the whole hour. Again, this is not what I expect will happen, but I was saying this is a possibility that can happen because of look below and fail scenarios. And that could mean I get stopped out and it goes back up right after, but that's okay. It's letting me wait. Yeah, you're having to wait a long time. I'm pretty happy though. Like I've been waiting for car parts for over a week. They had to come out of Sweden. And well, that took a while. My car's at the garage. Garage. And I basically only needed those so I ordered some spacers, like 1.5 centimeter spacers, because if I steer in all the way, my wheels would hit the how do you call that? I know the Dutch word for it. Do I know the English word? I don't. But long story short, I either needed new wheels, were like slightly thinner, smaller, or spacers. And I was like, well, that's an easy. I love my wheels. I don't want new ones. They are pretty new. So I was like, yeah, let's do some spacers. And I received those last Saturday. So I drove by the shop right before the stream. And then I dropped those off. So hopefully I get my car. The fenders, yes. The fenders. And hopefully I get my car again at the end of today. That's what I'm hoping for. All this waiting for one contract, by the way. How crazy can that be? Like, I don't have to be in this trade anymore if I want to, right? I am greening for the session, no matter what happens here. That's the power of scaling out and securing cash flow. So right, I took cash flow here and here. So even if I get stopped out here, I take one little contract of a stop, this small, and I scaled out on this and this. So right, that's the beauty of taking partials. I don't see enough people do it, and you don't have to. Especially if almost everything is lining up with your trade, why not do it? If you're like me, taking quicker trades usually, right? 1-to-1s, 1.5s, around that number, and you get your almost A+ setup with clear targets above, then Scale out on your regular targets, but don't close the whole position. I don't always do it, and the people in the pack will know, right? I've showed it just now in the stream as well, my previous trades. Which I do have to say, I'm on a crazy good run again. I haven't really lost trades the last few trade days. It's kind of scary. My win rate is absurd, but my RR is also absurd. So if stuff like that happens, you better know a mean reversion is likely. If I win a lot of trades, I'm like, all right, I know the losing streak is creeping up on me right now. And my delta is going crazy. Get back here. And now I pause the video. Paused. All right. What did I talk about earlier in the stream at the beginning of my trade about break even? Again, we might not go all the way up, but are you seeing what I'm talking about with if I know that I'm entering at a catalyst and a aggressive area where buyers or sellers, depending on whether I'm buying or shorting, stepped in aggressively, why would I go break even? We can easily tap back into that level and reload, and you're just getting out because you're afraid of losing a little bit of money. Even though the bigger players might just be recharging, might just be buying in more or selling in more for price to then snap back. Clear example of that happening like twice here. And again, like I said in the beginning too, if you backtested break evens and you're entering based off time-based ranges or stuff like that, right? Then sure. But if you're trading like me, using aggressive orders, order flow, it doesn't make sense in my book. And there might be people disagreeing, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're entering at an area where you know objectively at that point in time there was major regression, why go break even? It's been proven. Many people trade supply and demand stuff. And what is that? They're entering, and order blocks as well, they're entering off of previous aggression areas. With order flow, I enter at the aggression area as it forms. But those guys enter here on the retest. So they might be long right now, right? So think about it. If people do that all the time, why go break? Like, that proves, right, that supply and demand, that reloading happens. That area of aggression might be an area of aggression once again. And I'm willing to take that chance usually with my entries. Not with, if I have like a pretty bad entry and there isn't really like a super clear area of aggression like this one. But let's say, right, you enter right here in the middle. Then sure, that could be a different story. Huge candle again, snapping out of value, tapping into that absorption level area, snapping back in value. If I wasn't long, I would be pretty happy looking for a short on something like this, but we have our value area developing as we're speaking. We know we still have our statistical targets, so nothing changes on this trade. And instantly goes down. Yeah, But can it go all the way down? And even if it does, again, like I said, doesn't matter. But this right here, what we're doing live, just being in this trade, watching it go from near TP, final TP, I should say. Again, if I were to really say TP, then yeah, I would have already been take profit. I closed most of my trade out. But seeing it go against you, hovering right above your entry, going back up, now snapping back. Most people can't do this. It's the sad reality, but most people can't do this. Most people get scared when price aggressively snaps back against them or retest their entry after being in profit for like an hour. So if you're in a trade or you have experiences similar to this and you're not closing it and you're not changing your stop, your TP out of fear, then you are doing something that you have to be doing to be profitable. I don't care what people say. I see traders on social media like sharing their trades as they happen with their cam streaming. And the moment I see them out of fear change their TP or stops, I just know they're not long-term profitable. If you don't have that peace in your mind, if you don't have that peace during your trade, and you're unable to follow that trade plan, that execution plan, then I don't care who you're pretending to be, but you're not going to be a consistently profitable trader. You might get lucky here and there, but over time, you're not going to meet that consistency that you're going to have to be profitable. Like Austin says, right? You have to be able to fail to the level of your systems. And I agree. My system already played out. Guys, like, this is an extra. I don't care if it goes to stop or the final TP. My trade played out. I closed basically all of my position here. Right? Oh, I just moved my cash flow instead of the trade thing. But this is a bonus that I'm in. And if it wasn't for this bonus, and if we had already taken that instant high, I literally would have been short right now, just like this. Cash flow hit again on the 1-to-1, and I would be holding a runner back down. But because I'm still in this runner, I'm not, but that's okay. Good morning, Jet. Job mine didn't play out. What trade did you take? You took the 05 break instantly? I warned you about this. Look what I drew here. It happened on the opposite side because we broke that side first. I was thinking we'd do the downside, but it was exactly the setup, right? That look above, look below, and fail. So now that happened, we are now more likely to go down, right? Buyers were unable to hold above, and we're slamming back down. So this would be the first time where I would say, okay, I'm not expecting this level to hold now, but we'll see. All right, so now we're looking below this drop. Let's see if our runner gets stopped out or buyers still defend. And I say cash flow here, but that's not cash flow. That is TP2. And right, like I said, if it wasn't for this runner, I would have been in this short. And if we had taken that daily high too, and that would have now played out too, with a 1 to 2. Cash flow in the mid, runner TP. So today is super clean. This is the type of day where if everything you see happens, then you're in line with the market. And this is a type of day where I would say, okay, I'm comfortable risking a little bit more and taking another setup, even though I'm already green on the separate account. So is my runner stopped out? Runner still in. So either I don't have this at the right spot or it got tick rejected. Yeah, it got tick rejected on this. But it also looks like my stop is a little bit further down in my entry. So that means my real entry is like right here. Yeah, that seems a little bit more accurate. Oh, okay, now I got stopped out. All right. So that was a successful trade. Just remove this and leave it on the screen. So about a 1 to 3 captured live on stream this morning with the last contract stopped out. And then I got stopped out and it snaps back up. Yeah, I agree. All right, let me swap account. This one is going on lock. Way too green to risk any new profit on. We get a new account here. Let's see if we can do one more trade live on stream here. I only have 15 minutes left. And then I don't really like trading anymore. So these are still our more lower volume pockets. So we're all good on those. We're seeing big aggressive buyers stepping in right in our aggression level here. But they're failing to break above that aggressive sell delta. Let's get this a little bit more up to date. Retesting the aggressive buyers. They're holding. This could be a buy scalp back up off of the same level. Yeah, I'm liking what we're doing. We know we still have that statistical high to be taken, but that look above and fail is looking rather spicy. But yeah, could not break the 3M high, sadly. Nope, it tried. Too much absorption. Too many passive sellers at the top. But super clean trading so far, I will say. One trade, about a 1 to 3. Let's see what happens here. I want to see us dip below here, dip below this, dip below the previous low that we had our entry off of and see if we can manage to hold below there. And snap back into all this value right below us. So we've taken it out now. Huge aggressive sellers entering. Now we watch. Big aggressive buying step. Big aggressive buying. Did I say buying? Buying stepping in. All right. Did not get our buy setup. Yeah, like I was saying, right? That setup up here, I would have taken this if it wasn't for the runner I was holding. I can't hedge. I've tried it once on Top Step. I find it kind of bullshit, to be fair, if you have different accounts. I am in one trade already in profit and just holding a runner, and then like 2 hours later, I get a totally different setup, and I enter that the other way, and they tell me, you're hedging. Please close your trade within 10 seconds. I'm like, dude, how is that hedging though? It's a completely different trade on a different account, completely different environment. 2 hours after the first trade, and they flag you for hedging. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Super balanced distribution of volume right below down here. So big aggressive buyer stepping in, huge negative sell delta here. I'm liking this actually. See if we can get back above that low volume node and hold. Good aggression here on the bottom playing out. There's so many cars passing by this morning. It's okay. Well, let's see. Do we get one last setup live on stream? This will also be posted. Well, snippets will also be posted on my Twitter and YouTube. So if you want to see that, make sure you tune into or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Or follow my Twitter. You'll see trade recaps, valuable stuff. Trying to grow all that, so don't be afraid to hop on by. Somebody came home. I know who. One sec, guys. Well, I kid you not, I just missed my trade setup by looking back. This right here is a textbook short. These sellers are struggling down here. But man, that is a textbook short. Yeah, if this starts dropping, then I'm probably done. See, this is why you can't get distracted when trading. Sometimes. Was literally waiting to see what would happen at this reaction area. You have aggressive sellers stepping in. We know we've rejected the previous high. We've looked above the 05, snapped back in, broken and held below the 05 on the downside. So this was a textbook retest. Just about missed it though. TP1 would be a quick 1-to-1. Oh, you guys can probably hear that drilling going on. It's going from bad to worse. Now there's drilling. It's my dad drilling. And again, I marked these areas out. If you don't believe me, go back, rewind the stream. I marked these areas out before price even reached these areas. And now they have become to be perfect support and resistance, as you can see. Perfect support and resistances. And that's the power of the volume profile, right? I know a lot of people say, oh, volume profile, this and that. This is all volume profile. Why did I long? Directional analysis based off of statistics, right? Had this drawn out right here early in the morning. We now have statistical analysis saying we could be looking at a false. We have an instat false high. We rejected that high twice, coming back down, snapping back in value. 1-to-1 would have literally hit just now. So yeah, I missed out on my trade setup right there, but that would have been a win again. And a potential target could be this low, right? Our London area low, which would be at the value lows for the day. So, don't get distracted trading, guys. Don't get distracted when trading. For my 3-month backtesting, 4 AM, not taking any side of 3 AM, maybe happened one time and today. Yeah. Because 4 AM is usually that continuation hour, right? Does 3 AM break above the London Open range and hold? Or does it do that false? And then usually you'll see 4 AM follow through on that false and break the 3 AM low. So yeah, what you're saying is that's not surprising at all. Yeah. But we said it, right? We said all this in the beginning of the stream. We are expecting that big chop. We are not expecting one straight line to that high of day without any form of chop or major pullback. And we still have 1 hour to take that high out to create an instat P12. But it doesn't have to always happen. It happened Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and even on Monday. It happened here on Friday that week. Didn't happen there. Happened this Wednesday. So it happens more than not. That's why we look at it, right? It's a high probable thing. But yeah, this would have been the last trade of the stream, but I missed it because my dad walked in. The way that would have looked is cash flow off at 1. Because we have clear areas, right? We know that a false would mean we come and take out this low here, which is right down here. So we could be looking at a trailing trade. Cash flow taken at a 1-to-1, a runner down to a statistical area, value low, London range low. But yeah. Sometimes stuff like this happens, and this is why backtesting can be a little bit of a iffy. Because in backtesting, you don't account for stuff like this happening, where you miss a trade because someone makes you look back for 2 minutes and your setup happens exactly in those 2 minutes. Right? You don't see that happen in backtesting. You don't backtest for that. I will say we had a small look below here. We see sellers absorbed. We see aggressive buyers right above chilling. It's just happening in the middle of nowhere, where I am not really interested currently. Oh, wait. No, it's not for me. Never mind. So we're getting clear absorption down here with aggression right above. We're snapping up at the moment. However, this is not... It is a setup I would take, but it is not at an area of interest for me where I want to be basing my entries off of, so... Not a trade. Yeah, the time window where I really look for trades is pretty much over right now, so that's it, guys. So 1 trade for the stream. Partials taken right here, and then another partial taken right up here. And then I had 1 contract running to here, which we almost got, and then price reversed. So about a 1-to-3 for the day. Super green session with 1 trade. Not gonna complain. Great accuracy. Yeah, dude, super. That is one heck of a Monday morning. What are all these noises? So yeah, if you enjoyed that, if you look back a little and you want to see what we did, then be sure to rewind the stream a little. I'll be posting some snippets of this stream on my Twitter and YouTube. So yeah, if you want to see that, make sure to follow. Make sure to follow my YouTube, Twitter. Dude, what are these noises? I know you guys can hear that too. I'll leave a comment here. YouTube here. That is my YouTube channel. And yeah, great session. Money made. Let's see if our Magic Hour boys do the same thing. See if we continue this green momentum throughout the day. But London is checked off. I'm pretty sure Asia was killed as well. Let's check the Discord real quick. And let's see if we just murdered the daily candle here in the pack. Let's see. I don't see any Asia lockouts. Let's check the pack chat. Yeah, I don't know if people really took that Asia opening trade, but probably some people did. But with that out of the way, guys, great stream, great trade taken live. No drawdown trade too, by the way. Ah, Jet took it. Well, there you go. See, I was saying, right? Somebody probably took that Asia opening move. Was it a gunship trade? Wait, I have to turn the gunship on Asia. Yeah. That was a weird gunship trade though. Hang on. It was gunship long. Did you not get stopped out on that? Took 2 attempts. Okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. Huge down candle, snap back up, and then you had another close above. And then it just ripped. Cool. Dude, there's sorry for the background noise today, guys. There's so much. I'm probably gonna have to buy a new mic. You know what we should do? I think we should let Austin sponsor like our custom owned microphones and headphones. Have like Pack Trade Group logos on them. And we all stream with the same stuff. I thought you were black. Did you actually? Came out of nowhere too, like Bowie. I thought you were black. No, I'm not black. You sit in the dark. Yeah, I know. It's the background. Here. It's the window stuff, the light coming out of the window. Just scooch back on over. There we go. Well, yeah, great stream, guys. Window told you we're not wide enough. Yeah. Webcam blacking me out. All right, guys, but with that out of the way, I'm in the stream here. Again, my trade window is over. I don't really like trading after 5 personally. It's where London usually stalls out for a bit. The main moves usually happen between 3 and 4 that I'm interested in. So money secured, beautiful trade, insane accuracy, and a super nice fully green morning. No drawdown, no nothing. So hope you all enjoyed that. Again, we'll be here next Monday live on YouTube again. If you want to see me do this live every day, check out my pack links. You can also join live trading. Sometimes we do free re-engineering sessions in the free side of the pack too. And be sure to check out Magic Hour in about 2 hours with Karl. Yeah, let's see if we carry this green momentum throughout the whole day. Let's see what the Magic Hour crew does. Let's see what Austin and Mickey do. And it could be an around-the-clock green session, so let's see. Could be interesting. But yeah, great trading this morning, guys. Hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Good luck during New York. And I will see most of you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Have a good one, guys.
Did you find value from Bowie? You can follow him on X here. Join the Pack Trade Group Discord to see